This video will not explain how relatable Dick Grayson is or anything, because if you don't already relate to him, you have no swag, no bag, and no bitch. Dick Grayson, the first Robin, the boy wonder, was someone whose inclusion into the Batman mythos was for the pure and only reason of attracting young readers into comic books at the time. This was a 1960s that was just dominated by 50-year-olds and 40-year-olds and people outside of college and high school exclusively reading comics, and the high schoolers that did read comic books could not relate to Batman at the time. Therefore, you introduce Robin, the teenager who during his 30-plus year run with Batman and Detective Comics established the most prominent 1-2 punch in superhero media. But wait a second. We all know this already, and that's not what you guys are here for, and that's also not what I'm going to explain today. What you don't know is why Dick Grayson and how Dick Grayson became the centerpiece and the most important and highest regarded character in the entire DC universe. Once we graduate from Dick Grayson's days as the sidekick to Batman and Robin, Dick Grayson's leadership truly began with the pages of Marv Wolfman and George Perez's run on the Teen Titans in the 1980s, which is easily one of the most adapted and recognizable comic runs in all of comic book media, where he, at this time, was the head of the team, and his transition from Robin to Nightwing occurred during the Terra, or most people know it as the Judas Contract storyline, and it was here where he set himself truly apart from Batman and gained the respect of sidekicks, heroes, and mentors alike all throughout DC. Everyone from Wonder Woman to Superman to Martian Manhunter to the Atom to every single member of the Titans and every single superhero that he would interact with would come to respect him. He exudes a level of confidence in himself and also to everyone around him that's unparalleled, considering, well, he has no powers, just like Batman, but coming from the former sidekick of the Bat himself, with the brains of Bruce, the agility of a world-class athlete, with the added charisma that he brings for himself, and you have a man who's prepared and ready for almost all situations. Now, this doesn't mean that Dick or Nightwing is the perfect man in all of his stories, and actually the best stories when it comes to Dick Grayson and Nightwing, and honestly any iteration of his character, do a great job of presenting the dichotomy between the lives that he has. And yes, I know I use that word a lot, but in this case, it is truly present in this character through in and throughout. This dichotomy comes in the form of the boy wonder struggles to be the best superhero that he can be, like he saw Bruce and the Batman be for so long throughout their tenure with each other, and you have the other side of the token, which is Dick Grayson's need for normalcy in his life. He's still a guy that has friends and has a social life and wants to do things outside of being a superhero all day and night.
I always wanted, expected to grow up and become him. And the hero bit, I'm still all in. But that thing inside of him, the thing that drives him to sacrifice everything for the sake of his mission, that's not me. I don't want to be the Batman anymore.
For years, Richard, haha, no more Dick, saw the mental state of Bruce and had to put himself in and day out just to be the Bat. The trauma that he never forgot, the life that he lived, and the people he sacrificed, Grayson couldn't do that. He could never, and that's the only thing that keeps him from being the most absolute capable hero in the entire universe, in my opinion. At the end of the day, through being Robin for 10 years and Nightwing for X amount of years, maybe even Agent 37 depending on the story, and of course Grayson recently from fighting Talon in the Court of Owls, Richard Grayson has remained with his humanity. His friendships with Wally West, Simon Baz, and Superman are what keep him grounded, and even under the mask, keep him human. If you have any questions about Nightwing's actual, unlimited abilities, I would recommend reading the story Nightwing: A New Order, as it takes place in, I think, an alternate universe where well, I won't spoil it, but let's just say it's the full knowledge of Dick Grayson and capabilities of Nightwing put on full display in a different future, in a different timeline than what we would actually see in DC Comics for the most part. If you want to get my further opinions on it, you can DM me on Twitter, just talk to me about it. And if you want to see me cover it or other videos like this in the future, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. It's simply not Dick Grayson's abilities and his self-restrictions on his life that get him to the face of the franchise status that he is at for me for when it comes to the DC universe. But if I were to summarize it for the sake of this video, there would be 3 specific stories in all of media that I will point to for why I believe that Dick Grayson is the center of the DC universe. And those 3 stories are Titans versus Justice League in Titans Rebirth Annual Legacy, Injustice Year 1, and honestly just all of Young Justice. Starting with Titans versus Justice League, this takes place in an annual book where there's a crossover between the Titans and the Justice League. It happens yearly. It's what happens in comics. Long story short, the 2 teams end up getting frustrated with each other because of the budding personalities, the want for respect, and the different things that are brewing in these different series. It's a lot of things with Donna Troy. Donna Troy is one of the most complicated characters in all of comic book history. In this story, if you were to read it yourself, you would see that when it comes to commanding the respect for both teams, you have one figure. Not Superman, who's the most powerful person in the room and can put them all out in a snap. Not the speedsters, who can cover the entire grounds in less than a second. Not even Batman, who's one of the smartest people on the face of the planet and the most capable person when it comes to leading this team, both teams in the room. It's Dick Grayson. It's him that gets everyone under control. It's him that gets everyone to calm down and realize that their enemies aren't each other, but they're being torn down by a greater force. It's him that keeps everyone level-headed. It's him that everyone at the end of the day looks to and says, Dick, what do we do? How do we do it? And we need you to lead. Moving on to the next story that I think encapsulates Dick Grayson's intelligence and just overall awesomeness when it comes to the DC universe, we move to Injustice Year 1. Now, everyone watching this video has probably either played Injustice or read the comics, and because of that, I don't have to do too much summary for this. But when we are at the point to where Dick Grayson dies before he becomes Deadman, and when he is accidentally killed by his friend in Damian Wayne, the room grows silent. All the forces stop what they're doing almost immediately and turn their attention towards the tragedy. Now, yes, you could attribute this simply to the fact that one of their own heroes died, but the magnitude of how this impacts the story, it's kind of like the last straw before everything goes to hell. Before this, of course, we have a lot of events that happen. We see a lot of seeds to Superman's evil ways that he later leads to. But when it comes to Batman, he was holding on for a long time until his surrogate son died. The one thing that was keeping all the pieces together was now gone. The one hope that was in the room was now blown out. The one flame that was kept burning to keep the family together, to keep everyone sane, and to make sure that everyone still knew what a true hero was now gone with his neck snapped on the floor. The last example that I want to use is Young Justice. If you've seen Young Justice, you know that the show's kind of a mess. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love Young Justice, but it has its times. The one constant person throughout all the seasons of Young Justice so far, regardless of how much screen time he's gotten, has been Dick Grayson. In season 1, we see him struggle to come to grips with the fact that he is one of the most capable heroes available when it comes to the team. Whether it be Aqualad's conversation about stepping down and eventually giving the team over to Dick Grayson, or whether it just be Dick Grayson's later acceptance of his true beliefs and his true mindset of not wanting to become the bad and not accepting that as his fate and choosing something different that we see for the rest of the series, and something arguably greater. The idea that one man can command the Justice League and the team and the outsiders, potentially all from the shadows, is something that someone only with the cunningness, the wit, the charisma, the smarts, the brains, and just the capabilities of Dick Grayson can truly do. And he's done it for, what, 4 seasons now? And not to just play the meta game and just be like, oh, look at him, he's cool, he's awesome, he's smart. But it takes someone to not only command that level of respect and trust that he did and that he later took advantage of, but also the fact that he is able to be the person in the room that anyone of any age, of any status at that point in time can look to and say, you are our leader, is a testament to how respected he is, number one, and just how important he is to everyone else surrounding. Dick Grayson, since his induction, has been a consistent character in the pages of DC. He's been young, old, sidekick, leader, dick, and son. I'm sorry. He has commanded the respect and admiration and appreciation of every relevant character in DC while developing his own style and personality, even under the mask of whatever hero he embodies. Nightwing, Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder, the first Robin, the Titan, the leader of the DC community, and the centerpiece of the entire DC universe. This is the last episode in the series, technically, of the most relatable characters in media and fiction and anime and whatever you want to call it. I appreciate everyone for watching this far. Like I said in the video, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Videos don't stop, of course. We're just going to be getting off this series a little bit. This was an excuse for me to talk about some of my favorite characters in all of fiction and explaining to you why some of them are relatable, why some of them are just downright cool and awesome, like Dick Grayson, and just kind of talk to you guys, have a heart-to-heart on some videos. And I appreciate all the support that this series has gotten, and I hope that you guys stick with me even afterwards. Check out my streams, check out my podcast. Shout out to everybody. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I truly do. I've been kind of sick the past week. I know it took a while to get that Yato video out. And I know I didn't really do anything. I didn't take advantage over my spring break, but again, I was sick. Been doing a lot of stuff aside from videos, but we are back on the grind. As soon as this video comes out, the previous day I should have streamed, and we did an amazing tournament bracket on my podcast at this time. Check out the Loud and Wrong podcast, link in the description, card up above. Definitely do all of that. I appreciate all of you once again. Thank you for watching this video. I will catch you guys later. Hope you have a good day, and peace.